bid you welcome to another episode of Boggy Creek Life, Mail Calls and Grail Halls, episode number 37, the Halloween special. Yeah, the only thing Halloween about it is it's Halloween's next week. But thinking about it, the kit we're going to look at, Frazetta's, Moebius is the kit. Frazetta's the painter that created the original painting the kit is based upon. Dracula versus the Wolfman. So it's kind of Halloween oriented, classic characters. Before we go any further, I'm your host, Cam Boggs. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you as always. And if you're new to the channel, what I do here is I give kit reviews over new kits, old kits. Sometimes you can bring an old kit back and give a little refresher and make somebody want to look it down and get for it, And sometimes some of these old kits are really great. And I have a little painting things and, just what I'm working on shorts and stuff like that. It's just a good little model deal. If you're into that thing, please hit the like and subscribe button. I've been thinking about maybe doing a Patreon thing or something, maybe for like I don't know, a couple bucks a month, and we'll sit down and get online and maybe for a couple hours, depending on how it goes, interest gauge or whatever. We can model together and I can interact with you guys or something to that effect. I don't know. I got to figure out how all that technology stuff works. I apologize for the lateness of the show. I announced on Facebook last week, or actually I think like 2 weeks ago when I got this in the mail, that the video was coming soon, but life happens, life happens. Work, our girlfriend wasn't feeling good, and then our dog got sick, and if you follow me on Facebook, you see I got attacked by a rooster yesterday at the vet. Oh, this has been life, but it's still great. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. All right, I know you guys are not into long videos, so let's hop into this kit and check it out and see what it's like. So first off, if you've been following the show, you know how I always say I love a good box. Well, this one doesn't fail. Let's check it out. Obviously, beautiful artwork because it's based off the painting, which this is the painting by Frank Frazetta, world-renowned fantasy artist. We lost him a few years back. It was a sad day. But yeah, this model kit is based off of his painting, produced by Moebius. I believe it was digitally sculpted, but I don't know who by. So it just says here, artwork Frank Frazetta, licensed by Frazetta Jr. Enterprises. Moebius models Upland, California, and I don't think it really says anything else besides that. It's a 1/8 scale kit. It says on the side, Frank Frazetta's Dracula meets the Wolfman is one of his most iconic pieces. This dramatic illustration features Count Dracula and a werewolf locked into a fierce battle amidst a gothic crumbling churchyard with swirling bats and moody atmospheric backdrop. The piece exemplifies Frazetta's signature style, dynamic composition, muscular figures, and a vivid cinematic sense of motion. The enduring appeal of Dracula Meets the Wolfman lies in its embodiment of timeless horror themes and Frazetta's unparalleled artistic prowess. It continues to inspire new generations of artist fans, solidifying its place as a cornerstone of fantasy and horror illustrations. So there is a brief about that. And, it's a shame we don't get all that in there, but you'll see. Alright, so there's that one last gander at that. Let's get into it. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say when we go over this here is this is a painter's piece. I mean, it's highly detailed, as you'll see. Like I'll show you, it does have the same details as the painting. Like right here, you can see that there is a vein. on Dracula's hand there. You can see that. And you can see that in this piece. So as far as that, yes, it's detailed. But what I'm trying to say is if you look at Frazetta's painting style, it's like detailed and not detailed at the same time. I mean, there's like no really clean, harsh lines, if you know what I'm saying. It's all like brush strokes and you know, that kind of helps with like the envisioning of movement and such. And so yeah, I think this, you know, when we go over it and I'll show you, it's like, you know, there's a no, where's it at? I saw it here. Like Dracula, there's no like medallion and whatnot and all that. Because one thing, you can't even see it in this, but it's just not that kind of, you know, not all Draculas look like Bela Lugosi in people's minds. So just that being said, and then keeping, you know, the box art, the painting that it's based off of in mind, let's go ahead and get into it. First, we got the base, which is just a nice, sturdy, solid piece of plastic. The cape, you have to see it is part of the base. You can see it laying down around. So this cape is not a separate piece or anything. And you have the stone rubble, and you know, it's lightly textured around. To me, I have already seen a couple of wonderfully built versions of this because, you know, I got so late to the video that some people already built it up. And they were built, you know, in the colors of the painting, but not like a box art painting. Like, you know how people do box art kits and they paint it just like the James Bama painting, you know. I didn't see anybody's with like the colors in the arms here and under the ribs. This is what you know, they made it, you know, a great, you know, Dracula, but they didn't have, it wasn't a box art style. And I have never tried box art style, but I think this is as good time as any to try. For one thing, because you know, I love Frazetta paintings. I also have the Frazetta Death Dealer kit. I haven't gotten into it yet, but maybe one day we'll do a review on that one. Now, I did notice on Facebook that a buddy and subscriber, Michael Hall, he had found on this kit that for, I believe it's Dracula pieces, and I looked over the whole kit and I didn't see any other like this. You got 2 holes on this half, but only 1 stud on this half. So I went ahead and, you know, stuck them together to see if this would affect it any. And no, because you've got your pieces that you drop on the floor. You've got your edge, you know, there to catch the glue and catch the inside of the other piece. So doesn't affect the fit any. It fits pretty tight, maybe minimal putty. I use these spongy sanding blocks for what people that do fingernails use. It's got like 240 grit on one side and 180 or something. And if I find that I glue stuff together and put a good coat of primer on it, most times when the kits fit this good, I can sand the seam out, you know. So that's just that. Other pieces that I went ahead and took off of the tree because it's the pieces that I've usually seem to have issues with. You know, everybody's different though. I did Dracula's head just because the werewolf head is like 4 pieces, and I'm not gluing the head together just to, you know, show it. I just left it on the sprue. but we can see, yes, this detail, and it looks just like the painting we have. If you put his face like that, where's his face here? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Same face. Pretty much spot on. So that's good. I just noticed too, he looks more like a, got that Chinese demon mask look. That's pretty wild. But anyways, back to the test fitting. So they cut the seam behind the ears, which I've seen a lot of companies are doing. And I think that's a better way to do it. And they snap together. Well, I mean, you have to glue it, but they fit together pretty well. Got a little flashing edge there, maybe. I mean, minimal sanding though. He doesn't have like a upwards textured hair, so it shouldn't mess it up as long as you keep into the lines going that way. Like I said, good coat of primer. You should be good to go. The next thing I thought of, I went ahead and stuck a Wolfman arm together. You can see the texture. So it'll fit nice and hold wash and all that. Fits pretty well for the most part. And it looks a little different up here, but this is going to be inserted into a joint, so you're not going to see that. That may cause a little problem. I don't know. I have to see the offset between the bottom and top piece. But the rest of it seems to be pretty tight. And it doesn't look like they placed a lot of texture where the seam would lie. It's more like maybe like skin, bare skin, and his hair sprouting off the sides, you know. And you got some hair down there. I think that may be where I cut it off the thing. A little putty to fix that up. A little rubber band working with your glue there. Oh no, not too bad. Remember, we build models. Don't have to be perfect. We get picky. The better the technology gets, the more picky we get. Now this is one thing that I've had troubles with on kits of the past is they have little tree stuff and stuff is just crappy fitting. I mean, they mold this part on one piece from here up. Why can't they just make the whole thing one solid piece of plastic? I don't understand. But you know, I'm not a styrene injection plastic worker, so maybe they got their reasons. Maybe it's not cost efficient because that's a big, you know, piece of plastic. Anyways, it has no pegs, just the grooves. Like I said, we'll put a rubber band around it when we glue it. Won't have to really. I mean, if you're using regular glue, yeah, but super glue, you won't have to hold it long. The only thing is we got a little gap there between that and the top of the tree. And you know, that seems to be the problem with most of these tree things I've come into on styrene kits, is you will have a gap right there in the exact same spot. But that's all right. A little putty, it's a tree, make grooves in it, you never be able to tell. Let's check out some of the rest of the kit here, detail wise. I've already showed you Dracula's vest, and I mean, it's pretty much nothing more than a black jacket. This is the part that goes down on the base. This is the part you will see. Once again, this is a painter's piece. Which, I mean, we all paint them, I don't know, but you know what I mean. Some of them are described as painter's pieces. Well, I think those are actually depicting things that are very easy to build, which I don't see having much problem out of this. The challenge to me to this is to make it look like the box art. I actually could see this being slapped together with super glue, probably in not even an afternoon. But if you want to paint the pieces, well, then it may take a little longer if you do it that way. Once again, we've got beautiful textured hair in the werewolf. The hand clenched, nails. Same thing on that arm. These little footsie tootsies. A little bit of flashing needed off of there. You got his feet are two halves. You got the bottom toes, top toes. I imagine they'll fit all right. If you've already put this together and you're watching this, and if you've come into problems fitting other parts together, hey, chime in the comments and let me know what parts you had problems with. People get in and read the comments, so, you know, let them get in there and make an informed decision whether or not to purchase this if they'd like, or, you know, just what to look out for. This I have no idea what it is, but it's part of the werewolf because it's hairy. Oh, you know what? I have the directions here that I didn't even go over with you guys, which I usually do. You have to excuse me being in a rush. That would be part of the werewolf. Well, at least this part is part of what his head mounts to. So it's the hump on the top of his back. And yeah, this is the part that goes on the back half of that. I mean, the back of his head, I would suppose. As you can see, his ears are separate. His face is two pieces, the roof of the mouth, outside of the head, bottom outside the jaw, inside of the mouth. Let's look through this real quick. Is this unfold or is it pages? Well, it's got staples. What did they do? Glue it together? Very easy, basic instructions. It's telling you Wolfman body assembly, Wolfman head and arm assemblies, Wolfman leg and feet assemblies. You see it up there in the corner. You know what you're working on. Putting the Wolfman together, and then through the same steps with Dracula. The final step is mounting them to the base, which looks like this way. It gives you the option. You can paint them both up before you stick them together, make life a little easier. Now let's see, painting guide. To get a really nice finish, make sure you use high quality hobby paints and brushes. Take good care of your brushes, clean them well after every time you use them, and they will last a long time. Before you paint, be sure to lay down some newspaper in your area and you plan on working. Always use extreme caution when using hobby tools. Refer to box cover image and other sources for color ideas. I love reading that stuff. Takes me back to the old days, old correction of being a kid. And you see all that stuff in the little hobby kits, olden. I don't know if they even still do it in the mass-produced like card kits and stuff of today. Even though I just did a Tamiya SLR McLaren, you've probably seen the shorts and stuff on the channel. This has 47 parts. That car had 150, and almost every one of them required paint. I did it for the IPMS group I'm in, Miami Rum Runners. What's up, fellas? And yeah, that was the first car I've really tried on, you know, since I was a child, with knowledge I have now. And if you're actually trying to make it look like a car, it's a little hard. Yeah, I'll be working on bigger scales from here on out. But anyways, let's look at the detail on the werewolf. That's a beautiful detail, muscular face, just like the painting. The jaw, bottom of the jaw, palm of the hand, back of the hand. Can we get some there? There we go. Well, come on, camera, work with me. See the veins. Once again, well, I don't know. There's minimal flat. Like you just take that sponge sandpaper and that stuff will come right off. So we got that. Excellent muscle structure, back and the front. See, these are the parts I'm talking about, I believe. Yeah, like those muscles, they will hold the paint nice, and it almost gives you kind of like a place to put it down. I'm going to try this. This doesn't look like so much like blending as you could tell. I mean, there is some blending, like looks like there's greens and tan maybe or yellows in there, but then it's just like blotches of white or grayish highlights. This will be a challenge if you try to, well, at least for me, if you try to paint it like the box, the actual painting. I've seen some guy, one guy on Facebook. Oh, it does excellent uh, tribute paintings. You know, like box art tributes. I want to say Jeff Raum, Raum, does beautiful box art. I want to say Jeff Ferrone. There's a couple guys out there that really got it down. I mean, there's more than just them, but they're few and far that I think can really pull it off. I don't know. It's so crazy because they take something 3D to me, and when you're so good at painting it like the box art, it makes it look 2D. If you know what I'm saying. It's like I don't even know how to wrap my mind around it. And then, like, how do you paint the back part of it that, you know, your reference doesn't even have? That's a whole nother skill level right there. But we're going to try it. We're going to try. Let's go ahead and get into those. We've got just shirt cuffs right here. Plain old dress shoes with shoelaces on them. And like I said, you can't even really, you can't see that in the painting. So Dracula hand, nice fingernails, veins. Like I said, just like the painting, fist balled up, bottom shoes, and we got skinny old Dracula pants. Because I say skinny old because if you look at the two pant sizes, Dracula looks skinny compared to Wolfman. But I mean, he's still basically a human body. And, you know, the Wolfman is transformed. But once again, just very basic because, like I said, this is a painter's piece. I don't know if I'm naming that right, but yeah, Wolfman. Alrighty. Well, there we go. Let's go ahead and wrap this up and get out of here. Alrighty, well, once again, I would like to thank everybody for stopping by. And if you haven't already and you're into it, please hit that like and subscribe button. Every subscription helps. As for what I'll be doing, I'm going to get back into Pumpkinhead here, you see, because he's been neglected for way too long, him and old Mr. Ed Harley. But I had a deadline on that Tamiya kit because it was for a memorial. Because the president, CEO of Tamiya, not even going to attempt his name except for his last name was Tamiya, passed away. And a lot of guys in the group I belong to do military kits, which Tamiya is a big maker of military kits. They also have cars, but they did a lot of military, and they're all into that. And I was the only person that built a car. Everybody else did a plane. But yeah, so that had to take up my time. I had to put them off. So, plus, it was a nice little break. I'd been working on him for a minute. You see my old videos posted. I had his skin tone, what it should have been done. Everybody loved it, but I wasn't happy with it because I thought it was too brown. And so I just said, no, I'm not happy. And I started over and made it more pale, which I believe it is. But it's nowhere close to being finished. That's what we're going to get back to. Once again, started right along. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody have a great, fun, safe Halloween with your family and children out there trick-or-treating, all you little ghouls and monsters. And still, be good to each other. Model on.